Thanks for joining me in this video. This video is about what documentation do you need to keep in mind when you are submitting any temporary application. So what kind of temporary applications do we have in Canada? There are visit visas, there are different types of work visas, there are study permits. Temporary is exactly that. Your intention is to come for X and then you return back. There's something called dual intent, which means you can change your mind and remain in the country. But at the time that you submit the application, your intent is temporary. So what do all of these applications have in common? What is your intention? You have to specify to the officer what the intention is. Don't just say, I want to visit Canada. That's not specific enough. There could be different types of visit. You could visit for leisure. You could visit for business. If it is leisure, what exactly are you intending to visit? Is it a family member? Are you here for tourism? So be as specific as possible because everything else will have a domino effect. Financials. If you are coming to visit, let's say you're here to be a tourist, saying that I'm going to be a tourist for 6 months may be unreasonable. Canada, I mean, it's a vast land, but 6 months to visit a country is not reasonable. So if you are saying tourism, perhaps 1 month is reasonable, depending on where you're coming from. In that, you then have to demonstrate your financial capability. If you're saying 1 month, make sure you have sufficient funds to support your stay for that 1 month. If you're going to say 6 months, then your financial capability has to be 6 times that large, etc., etc. Remember, ask for less because you can always apply for an extension once you're here. You don't need to ask for the entire world at the initial onset of the application. You can ask for less, and should you change your mind, you can always apply for an extension. The other thing, which is very critical, is to demonstrate to the officer that you have ample reason to go back to your lovely country. Ties to your home country. Ties can mean anything from friends, family, business, bills you have to pay, doctor's appointments you have, anything that ties you to your home country that you have to return back to. You want to demonstrate to the officer that for this reason, I must return on this date. And the last thing is genuineness. Make sure that the officer believes the story. Don't say, I'm coming from all the way overseas for a birthday party that you're not even involved in because it's a friend's birthday party. Well, that might not be believable. It might be one of the reasons you intend to visit, but it might not be the sole reason that you're intending to come to Canada. People don't spend thousands of dollars in airline tickets and accommodations, etc., because it's a friend's birthday party. Perhaps a wedding might be different. And if you can demonstrate that you're involved in the wedding and this wedding is a close family member or a relative, and it's a dear friend of yours, then of course the chances increase. Not to say that you can't come for a birthday party, but you want to add more meat to the story. You might want to say, I'm also interested in seeing the CN Tower and Niagara Falls because I've never seen it before. This is what I intend to do. This is my budget. These are the tickets I've purchased, and then I'm going to go back home. And make sure your timeline matches. If you are coming during your working hours, let's say if it's, you're working 12 months and you have 2 weeks vacation, the employment letter should confirm that you still have that 2 weeks vacation. Then request 2 weeks of tourism. Lastly, what you want to keep in mind is the processing times. A lot of times, this is the fundamental reason why applications gets rejected. In the invitation letter, the client says, oh, I want to come for the summer vacation. Meanwhile, processing times are 6 months and they've submitted the application in May, which means you've missed the summer vacation altogether. That was an absolute easy reason for the officer to refuse it. Look at the processing time, then make sure your storyline, your financials, your intent, the processing time, everything matches. And do not rush your application. Everyone wants to come to Canada yesterday, but you want to do it right. You want to do it right because if you get a refusal, it could potentially affect future applications. If you're looking to come to Canada on a temporary basis, feel free to give us a call. Thank you, and until next time.